Welcome in to another edition of the Old North State Sports Show, folks. We are back today to talk all about wide receivers. We're getting this video out ahead of free agency, ahead of all the rumors they're going to be flying around, who's coming where, who's moving to this team, is this person on the trade block? We're getting ahead of that. I'm going to give you my opinions, and folks, we really created this video to give you a realistic expectation. So I've labeled this as 5 burning questions. That's part of a new series that I'm doing, but we're going to give you 5 realistic targets that the Carolina Panthers could consider in free agency and should consider. And folks, free agency market isn't good. We know this with T. Higgins, at least for now, in Cincinnati. Chris Godwin, although not getting the franchise tag, sounds like he's going to be content and staying down in Tampa Bay. So the market dwindles up very quickly. So now for the Carolina Panthers, let's go through our list. And no, today we don't have any fancy graphics. I know y'all are used to those, but for me to just kind of get ahead of some content that I'm recording, we're going to just go straight into it. Don't worry, we'll still have the graphics coming up sooner than later. So number 1, former University of North Carolina Tar Heel, Dyami Brown. Yes, I do think he should be in consideration coming over from the Washington Commanders. Not fantastic numbers again. And when we start talking about wide receivers that are viable options, talking about a 3rd and 4th option, unfortunately, the market for free agency at the wide receiver position just isn't there. I think that's part of the reason the Carolina Panthers are going to have to rely on what is in front of them. They're going to need to see big improvements from Xavier Legette, from Jalen Coker, and an aging Adam Thielen, potentially David Moore brought back as well. But I like Dyami Brown in the mix, a speedy, smaller wide receiver. I'm not saying, again, he's going to be a number 1. I don't even think 2 or 3. More of your David Moore fill-in that we saw. Another on the list, again, it's not going to jump out for you, but we have Darius Slayton. And again, I have to just give you the names that are realistic. And no, it's probably not going to get you jumping out of your seat like what Tom Hanks or whoever the heck Tom Cruise did years ago on Oprah. Can't even get the Toms right. It's not going to get you that excited, folks. I get it. But again, we want to sit in the realm of being realistic. And you never know, man. Some guys change teams. They move around. They find a spot. Things stick. We see improvements. This happens in the NFL, but I just, for me, don't know that the jump is going to happen for Darius Slayton. I would be okay if he lands in Carolina. Not excited. Marquise Hollywood Brown coming in at, I guess, technically number 3 on my list. If I'm working backwards, 5, 4, 3. I don't know. He's another one. I followed him through his journey because Nolan, oldest, is a fan of the Baltimore Ravens. Bounced over to Arizona, and of course, this past year with the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know, man. He's very inconsistent. A lot of people talk about speed. He is a little bit younger, but a lot of these guys, you're just not getting it. Every receiver on this list just about reminds me of when we were going through the motions with DJ Chark and LaVisca Chenault and that type of group. And that doesn't make you feel good. But unfortunately, there's just not a lot of guys available that you can just feed in. So that's number 3. Number 2, we have Amari Cooper. And now we're getting closer. I know it's not a perfect situation, but if you're looking short term, maybe there's a case to be made to bring in one of these veteran wide receivers. It's kind of a copy, paste, repeat of what you had with Adam Thielen. Hoping there's, another 3 or 4 years in the tank where you can get really good production. So in that case, if the money's right, the contract's there, and you think you can get a decent version of the player that he was, you bring in Amari Cooper. And if we're going to stay in that same vein, at number 1, we have Stefon Diggs. And again, I'm not sold. I don't think it's a sure hit coming off the injury. There's a lot of questions surrounding this. Maybe you get him at a cheaper price. But again, when we're working with what we're working with, you take what you can get, at least in this situation. A lot of this forces you, if you look at the NFL right now, wide receiver prime position, and it's not going to get up and leave. I think it's important for the Panthers to figure it out and probably draft. I don't know if it's going to be first round, second round, later rounds. They're going to have to find an option via the draft to fill the void. Now, honorable mention, I went through the 5 again. Dyami Brown, Darius Slayton, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Amari Cooper, Stefon Diggs, Keenan Allen, guy that I played against in high school, still in the NFL. You throw him in again, a veteran. He's also had his ups and downs and injuries, but maybe he could be an option as well. So anyways, that is my 5 Let me know what you guys think. Who else should the Panthers consider? As always, this is Carolina Dad. Y'all have a good one.